What's up, boys? We're back with another video. We got a little bit of back on the agenda today. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bonkers. So, with that being said, I think we're going to do a little bit more of a lat focused back day. We'll do our normal lat pullovers, two different variations. We'll do the seated lat pullovers, then we'll do the rope lat pullovers, do a variation of lat pull downs, and then I'm thinking we do another variation of lat pull downs, and then sprinkle in one compound. And I think for that one compound, what I want to do is I think I want to do the chest supported row with a high focus, not necessarily on the weight, but more on the contraction, really getting that good stretch, just really making sure I'm conscious of that that muscle under mind connection, mind under muscle connection. I don't know. Well, I just want to make sure I'm focusing on the squeeze, making sure I'm keeping that muscle under consistent tension. There we go. As you can tell, the prep is prepping, boys. My mind, a little foggy. But, I mean, it happens. You know, we're going to make it through it. We're going to take it day by day, win by win, and just keep pushing forward. So, I think that's what we have on the agenda today. I know I was kind of bad at describing what we had planned, but as the lift goes on, you boys will kind of see that. But with that being said, I'll catch you boys inside the gym. All right, boys, you already know the deal. We got the primer here. About to prime the lats, get them nice and warm. Let's get after it. We got 3 more there, boys. Also, hold on. I mixed it in. I made a video about the Rise Blue Raz or Blueberry Lemonade. Mixed it in. It is not, it's still not it. So what I did was I put half a scoop of Country Time lemonade and then half a scoop of the blueberry lemonade, and that made it a lot better. So Country Time lemonade stays a banger. Blueberry lemonade, it's mid, right? Blueberry lemonade, if we're going off the tier list, mid. Country Time lemonade, God tier. God tier, boys. But we got 3 more there. All right, boys, let's get this next set. Two more. One more. Oh, that's cooking me, boys. We got 2 more there. All right, boys, let's get this next set. We got 1 more there, boys. All right, last set here, boys. Oh, that's cooking me, boys. All right, we're gonna go do some chest supported rows. The lats are nice and prime, nice and warm. So we're gonna go ahead, get over there, get some rows. That'll be a vibe. But I'll catch you boys on the next lift. All right, boys. We're just gonna go 3 here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bonkers. Really focus on that stretch. I want to run it back on our thickness day. Our thickness day will go a little bit heavier, try to focus on the pump. But today I really just want to focus on that stretch and squeeze. There we go. We got 2 more there, boys. But with that, I really just wanted to focus, especially with this today, with it being a lat focus day, I really just wanted to focus more on the squeeze with this movement. And then when we do a thickness day, we'll run it back, go our 4 plates, and really just kind of chase that pump. But today, I really just want to get a good stretch in those lats, really feel that mind muscle connection. There we go. That's the phrase I couldn't say in the car. Really focus on that mind muscle connection and just get a good stretch in those lats. Good stretch in those lats. Really up the tempo a little bit today to where the tempo normally would be the 1 to 2 range or the 2 to 3 range. Today with this, I want to really emphasize the 3 to 5 tempo, which is nice, So we got 2 more there, boys. I'm going to take a swig of water and then we'll get after the next sets. All right, boys, let's get this next set. One more. We got 1 more there, boys. All right, boys, let's get this last set here. One more. All right, boys. We're gonna go do some lat pullovers, and then we'll keep this back day moving. But I'm gonna go ahead and unrack this weight, and I'll catch you boys at the next lift. All right, boys. Let's get this set. A little bit of lat rope pullovers here. Woo! That's cooking me, boys. Hold on, let me turn off the face track. I want to show you boys something. Hey, hold on. You see the anime drip? Look at the front. Hey, the front pretty sweet. The front pretty sweet. The back though. Hold on. The back though, boys. The back. Hey, I saw it on TikTok Shot. I was like, okay. It was on sale. Got it for like $15. I was like, take my card. Run that. So we added to the anime drip. The anime pump covers. Got a little Madara in there. A little Madara for you boys. Hey, it's a vibe. But I'm going to take a swig of water and we'll get after the next 3 sets, boys. All right, boys, let's get after these next 3 sets. One more. We got 2 more there, boys. 2 more there. All right, boys, let's get after these next 2 sets. One more. Oh, that's cooking me, boys. That's cooking. We got 1 more there. All right, boys, let's get this last set here. Woo. All right, now we got some seated lat pull downs. Some seated lat pull downs, boys. And then after that, we'll skedaddle. But I'll catch you boys at the next movement. All right, boys, let's get this work. One more. Oh, I'm cooked, boys. We gotta drop that weight. I am cooked. I only got 8. I only got 8. That's depressing. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the weight, take a swig of water, then we'll get after the next 3 sets, boys. All right, boys, let's get this next set. One more. Ooh. All right, boys, we got 2 more there. All right, let's get this next set, boys. Oh, I think that's it, boys. I can start to feel the stretch in my lat. I can, it's worrisome. So, feel like we got a good pump. I'll catch you boys in the car. All right, boys, we're getting a little bit of a look after this back day. Hold on, let me adjust the lighting real quick, boys. All right, boys. I'm the baby. All right, boys, that's enough posing. All right, boys, that's another one in the books. I feel like it was an overall good back day. I feel like we got a good pump. I feel like it was nice. It was nice. Nothing to complain about. I feel good. I feel meaty. I feel like we got after it. We got after it, and it was a good day. So, nothing to complain about. We are officially approaching 7.5 weeks out, boys. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I just want to take a second here. To me, it's crazy, bro. It feels like it was just January 1st, boys. And we were just starting prep. And I was dropping maybe 3-4 videos a week. And it was progressing, right? It was progressing. Prep was prepping. And I enjoyed it. And I still enjoy it. But man, time has been flying, boys. Time has been flying. To think we've been in prep for 3.5 months now is astonishing to me. It's like, dude, we've been in prep all year. All year we've been in prep. I think I've had one bad meal. And that kind of scares me. I'm kind of terrified,
Because when we come out of prep, obviously I want to do a recom phase. We'll do the recom phase, make sure my blood work, everything comes back clean, make sure I'm nice and healthy, make sure my like hormones aren't completely tanked, and that'll be nice, kind of building back up to maintenance. But obviously, the closer we get to maintenance, then I want to incorporate maybe one cheat meal every two weeks, and then once we get into the bulk and we actually start the bulk and start getting into it, maybe do like maybe eating out cheat meal once every other week. And if I have a cheat meal the week before or the week, I'm just thinking I go out, I only allow myself to go out and have a meal outside of the house 2 times a week. And if I have a cheat meal outside of that, right, I want to limit myself to maybe one cheat meal. And cheat meal is just craving killers, right? So during the off season when I'm in the bulk, if I have a cheat meal, I want to only go out and eat 2 meals, but I want to be able to cook my other 2 cheat meals, right? So my thought process is I'm only going to allow myself to eat out twice, and then for the rest of the month it's kind of just, all right, well, if we're craving something, we got to chef it up. If we want a cheat meal like during one of the weeks, I just got to chef it up. If I want burger and fries, then I got to make burger and fries. If I want nachos, then I just got to make nachos. And obviously, with me chefing it up, I'll be able to be a little bit more conscious, kind of make it a little bit more macro friendly. So I'm not completely destroying myself during the off season, which, I mean, like I said, like I told you boys, I want to kind of live by the 90-10 rule. I've lived by the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule. There we go. I've lived by the 80-20 rule up until now, but moving forward, I kind of want to live by 90-10 rule, to where 90% of my overall caloric intake comes from clean foods, calculated foods that I'm prepping, and then 10% comes from, craving killers. So if I'm intaking 4,000 calories a day, that'll be 400 calories that I'll allow for myself to kind of indulge in. And then obviously, if I plan on going out or having like a bigger cheat meal, I can kind of fluctuate those calories, obviously, through the week, carb cycle, maybe fat cycle a little bit as well, just to make sure I'm incorporating and accounting for those fats. I think that'll be something that'll be a little bit more advantageous during the off season and allow me to come in a little bit leaner, so we don't have to do as long of a prep as we did this time. But still, I think moving forward, my preps will still be, I think 20 weeks will be the money spot. If I can keep a lean off season, I think a 20-week prep will be money. A lot of people run with a 16. 16's cool, but I want to give myself an extra 4 weeks just to make sure I'm coming in as crisp as possible. And then on top of that, I'm not rushing anything. I'm not like killing my mass or sacrificing gains or size to make the weight cap or to make sure I'm lean enough, to where I find at a 20-week threshold, at a 20-week time frame, that allows me to kind of gradually go into prep, right? Gradually prep it out, and then from there, it it kind of helps me keep the mass, keeps the calories a little bit higher. I'm not doing as much cardio right off the rip, to where it allows me to kind of get accustomed to prep, which is nice, But I did a lot of yapping on this outro. Obviously, I can't speak today. I'm doing a lot of stuttering, a lot of gobbledygook. But that being said, I feel like it was a good pump. It was a good pump, and I just want to say, I know I've said it in the past couple videos, or at least in one of the videos I made last week. I really appreciate the support I've been getting from everybody, from friends, family, even people that don't necessarily know me personally. That's been amazing, right? And hopefully we can build a community of thick neck nerds, so I can get to know you boys personally. And we can just build a community from here and keep it pushing. But with that being said, I really do appreciate the support. It makes prep that much easier. It it really helps me knowing that I'm helping other individuals be motivated and want to achieve the best version of themselves, right? To where even little things I've noticed, like my friends eating healthier, or I'll see somebody at the gym and they'll be like, hey, I watched the video. I just want to ask you a quick question about the grocery haul, or I just want to ask you a quick question about this movement that I saw you doing. You went into depth, but I kind of wanted to touch on it a little bit, ask you about it. And I'm obviously eager to talk about that stuff. It makes me so happy that somebody's like, hey, I watched your video. It helped me. Could you explain it a little bit more? And I'm like, dude, let's yap. Let me deep dive real quick for you. So I really appreciate the positive feedback and even the negative feedback, just the feedback in general, right? I feel like the feedback in general helps me be a better version of me, whether it's positive or negative. I feel like it leads to an overall better version of myself. And I appreciate you boys for that. So that being said, that's another one in the books, boys. I hope you enjoyed this nice little back day, and then the anime drip. We got that Madara on us. But with that being said, I really, really do just look forward to the next 7.5 weeks and see how much leaner, how much better we can get. With that being said, I'll catch you boys in the next video.